5 straight wins have allowed Juventus to tiptoe into the title race. And with victory tonight, the bianconeri could consolidate their position as dark horses for the Scudetto. Atalanta are still very much in the conversation, despite some costly drop points in 2025 with a pair of consecutive goalless draws at home last month. Big pressure on this one. It's Juventus-Atalanta. They say all great teams know their best 11, and it appears that Thiago Motta has now stumbled upon his best side. A big hug for his old mentor, Gianpiero Gasperini, who coached him at Genoa. And Thiago Motta only had good things to say. Thiago Motta goes for the same 11 that beat Verona here on Monday. Khéphren Thuram has now scored in his last 2 games across all competitions, while Kolo Muani leads the line, despite going 6 matches without a goal. All that having really made a splash with 5 in his first 3. A pair of alterations for Atalanta compared with the team that started the goalless draw at home to Venezia. Hien is fit again, just in time to replace the injured Posh. Bellanova plays in place of De Ketelaere, so Cuadrado has been pushed further forward alongside Lookman. Cuadrado, who won several league titles during his time with Juventus. Subplots are plenty. Thiago Motta against Gasperini, Cuadrado on one side. Inter victorious against Monza, Napoli won against Fiorentina, but who will come out on top this evening in Turin? It's Juventus against Atalanta. Wasn't tempted by the shot, and Atalanta can counter. Edison, too strong for McKennie. They've got numbers here. Edison can pick the pass. Here's Ademola Lookman taking it on, and Khéphren Thuram with the block.
Yeah, brilliant.
Khéphren Thuram increasingly becoming a complete midfield player, and he's added goals to his game as well. Thuram for Kolo Muani. McKennie. Here's Khéphren Thuram. He nearly continued his magic moment.
He is the player that can make things happen for Juventus, can change the whole game with his acceleration in the middle of the park. Wonderful first touch by Thuram. There, he went for power rather than precision.
Given away here to Zappacosta. Now it's Lookman. Zappacosta's in space. Here he is now. Zappacosta dragged it wide.
He went to try to surprise Di Gregorio at the near post. Poor effort.
Lloyd Kelly breaking the lines and going for goal. It was worth a hit from the centre-back.
Yeah, same position as Thuram previous effort.
Cuadrado with the corner. That was Edison's header. Di Gregorio had to scramble across. Atalanta asking for another corner. They've got it too.
Yes, because Juventus are marking zonal, plus some Juventus players have got men to pick, but Ederson looked like he's completely unmarked in the middle of the box.
Cuadrado with the outswinger. Thuram's header, that's Hien, who's still never scored in Italian football.
Yeah, but this is a good chance from Hien.
You mentioned Atalanta might not be displeased with the draw. I'm sure Juventus would be. They're sick of the sight of them. Here goes Cuadrado. Has he got the pace? He can square it for Lookman. Cuadrado waits for Bellanova. Lookman got his head to it. Still there for Lookman. If he can get the shot away, straight at Di Gregorio. Retegui. Roon. Now it's Cuadrado. Nice drop of the shoulder, he's won a free kick, and Cuadrado might be one of the candidates to take this.
This is incredible part because he's got these moves and he always beat his opponent. Yes, he's not as sharp as he used to be, but he always goes past his opponent.
In by Roon. Came off the chest of Lookman, that's Ederson. Handball by McKennie, penalty to Atalanta.
Yeah, clearly, there is no doubt about that. You can see now they're gonna check. Lookman, I think, was, or some Atalanta players, but look like was a shoulder touch, and this is a stonewall penalty.
The penalty is confirmed, and now the question is who's going to take it. Retegui has missed several this season, but he is the league's leading goal scorer, and he's 1 12-yard attempt away from 22 in Serie A this season. Huge pressure on this penalty from Retegui, who scores. He's found the net home and away against Juventus, and that's why he may well end up being capocannoniere. He did not blink from 12 yards, and Atalanta lead in Turin.
Massive pressure on Retegui, but calmly he scored the opening goal here after 30 minutes. Di Gregorio picked the right corner, but the ball just hit the net.
Yildiz given away to Roon. Opportunity knocks for Atalanta. The captain tried to catch out Di Gregorio. Would he have been better off playing in a teammate?
Yeah, he could have drove the ball and wait for the last pass.
Retegui turned down the return ball to Bellanova. You could hear his anguish, picked up by our effects microphone. Ederson, what a ball for Chim City. And had it been a quicker player, that might have been 2-0.
That was a superb pass. Just a bit too heavy, maybe from the weather condition.
2 minutes of added time have begun. Thuram. Yildiz closed down by Lookman, who played the ball. And Atalanta have numbers up here. Lookman is spoilt for choice, he goes for goal. And there is Ederson. Fabulous work from Di Gregorio. Ederson, Zappacosta, Lookman will surely score. Di Gregorio with a fabulous save. And will Atalanta live to regret that?
Patrick, when you have the chance to kill a game, you have to. Look how many chances at the end. Gatti and Kelly did a magnificent job. Di Gregorio as well, obviously.
They have just a corner for their efforts. Cuadrado sends it in. Look, there's Zappacosta! What a save again from Di Gregorio. Pulling out heroics.
That's why he's been awarded best goalkeeper in Serie A last season.
Back in by Kolasinac. Ederson goes for goal. This time Di Gregorio had it covered. And it's a minor miracle that Juventus will go in at the break trailing only by 1. Zappacosta incredulous. Juventus might have already been out of this game. As it is, they trail by just a goal to nil. Matteo Retegui's penalty brought up 22 for the Serie A season for him. But between them, Lookman et al. Should really have scored at least another goal. A shake of the head from McKennie because Juventus have been far from their best. The only upshot for the Bianconeri is they're still in the game. At the break, Juventus 0, Atalanta 1. The second half here at Allianz Stadium begins with a change of pace. Juan Cuadrado, the former Juventus player, has been taken off after the first half. Marco Brescianini on in his stead. And it's the former Atalanta midfielder Turncoat Mainers who replaces Kenan Yildiz for the second half. When the time is right, we'll ask Manuel Pascali what the rationale is behind that change from Thiago Motta in particular. Unbeaten in his last 4 games against Atalanta. 3 wins and a draw. He did the double over them with Bologna last season. Atalanta had the first half lead, but it could have been greater still were it not for Di Gregorio and some wastefulness in front of goal. Juventus were outplayed in the first half, Manuel, but what will Cope Mainers bring?
Yeah, obviously a more technical ability, to keep the ball, more balance. Yildiz didn't have a great first half. I'm more surprised to see Cuadrado coming off for Brescianini as well. I think Cuadrado must have had some physical problem because he was one of the Atalanta best players in the first half.
Given away by Kelly to Roon. Lookman free on the far side. Roon, Edison, now it's into Lookman. If he can get away from Gatti, Lookman! And here's Roon! This time they do score. Inside a minute of the restart, it's the captain who puts things right for Della. They went in at the break with some regrets. They won't have any now because Martin Roon has doubled Atalanta's advantage.
The silent hero, the skipper, scored the second goal and astonished the Juventus Stadium. Was waiting for a response from the Bianconeri. You can see Di Gregorio, furious here. Sloppy pass from Kelly. But look again, the amount of Juventus players just walking back. And here, Di Gregorio kept again the ball in, but then he couldn't do anything on their own rebound.
Cope Mainers, that's a clever ball for Weah, who got up well. McKennie through the crowd, it's wide.
There's the first real chance for Juve.
Colomoni, McKennie for Locatelli. He'll get to the ball first. Cope Mainers calling for it. Locatelli couldn't wrap his boot around it, and Carnesecchi had to make sure it cleared the crossbar. And maybe we were premature in talking them up as potential title contenders. Edison, Zappacosta, Atalanta can make a statement here with Lookman for the third. He should really have squared it for Retegui.
Atalanta is reaching the last 16 meters, they're causing troubles.
Zappacosta, Kolasinac joining in. Zappacosta, Kolasinac, Zappacosta! That is fabulous from Atalanta. That is Della at their scintillating best. And they are absolutely destroying Juventus on their own patch.
You said Barcelona, Patrick. Look at Kolasinac, what is he doing? Driving the ball forward, 1-2, and then even a backheel pass. Like a former Real Madrid player, Guti. And was there Zappacosta, a wing back. Another player that is having an excellent season. And this is becoming humiliating for Juve.
It could get very embarrassing for Juventus here if they're not careful. Roon. Now it's Lookman. Atalanta's appetite is insatiable. They want another goal here. Inter have at least 2 more games in the Coppa Italia, could be as many as 3. Looks like they're going to have at least 3 more games in the Champions League. That second leg against the team from Rotterdam, plus a quarter-final tie. What's Vlahovic done there? He slipped and given it straight to Lookman. Zappacosta in support. Lookman only has eyes for goal, and it is 4 for Atalanta. The only surprise was he hadn't yet found the net tonight. He's put that right now. And this is the humbling to end all humblings for the Bianconeri.
He was looking to be on the score sheet all night long. And this is becoming a wonderful night for Atalanta. And a nightmare for Juventus and Thiago Motta.
It's one thing winning 5-0 at Empoli, it's quite another being 4 goals up away at Juventus. Ademola Lookman with the benefit of a deflection after Vlahovic inexplicably slipped, and with his standing leg teed up Lookman, one of the most potent players in Serie A. Astonishing. Now Roon has found De Ketelare, and it could yet get worse for Juventus. De Ketelare, Kolasinac was stretching. They were an inch or 2 away there from 5-0. McKennie, time for a consolation perhaps. The ball is behind Mbangula. Vlahovic. McKennie will score surely. Toloi with the block. Juventus wants a penalty. Here's Mbangula. Now Locatelli. They clearly care about this clean sheet, Atalanta. They want to keep this run going. Rafael Toloi making his presence known there as McKennie tried to sweep it goalwards. Koopmeiners. That's a clever ball for Mbangula. Back in by Mbangula. McKennie. Carnesecchi with a world-class save.
He's a goalkeeper. He wants to keep a clean sheet. And this tells you a lot.
What a game this has been. Absolutely enthralling from the first whistle to the last. We're just seconds away from the final whistle. One last foray forward perhaps for the visitors. Samardzic. Zappacosta. Now it's Pasalic. There is still time for a 5th. Pasalic. De Ketelare. Well held by Di Gregorio. We've played the 2 added minutes. Atalanta are very much in the title race. They're going to have a major say in the direction of the Scudetto. Retegui started the 4-goal route here in Turin. It is a very dark day for Juventus, but Gasperini has once again produced a masterclass. Zappacosta's goal was arguably the best of the lot. 4 different scorers, including astonishing scoreline. Juventus 0, Atalanta 4.